Yo, what's up, guys? How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just a second, I'll be with you guys now, and I mean, still basically continuing where we stopped last time. You know, we already had what should you call it? We already had some part of the house modeled. Right now, we're gonna try to see what we can do between now and between now and say 12:30. I'm trying to just make sure I have the stream up on my phone. What's going on? Just 1 second, please. All right. So, yeah, you. Yep. I see Tomato is already on stream. What's up, man? How are you doing? How have you been? It's been a second. I wasn't on yesterday, and that was because I had technical issues. I think I'll just put it at that. Technical issues. And yep, I'm from a part of the world where electricity isn't constant. So I think that was basically what happened yesterday. How you feeling though? Like, how have you been? Yeah, we're just going to continue from where we stopped. I think for the most part of this other wall, I don't think I want to extrude manifold. I probably just want to delete those faces, create a hole, and then this I would sx minus 1, and that's just pull that into the wall a little bit, just like so. So that's good on that side. I think this one and this one right here, and maybe this also, I want to shift X, copy down to the side. Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear that you're so good. That's good. Shout out to you, bro. I'm just going to GY, pull this into the space. I think we have this going on already. This is cool. GY. Go in a little more. So that's cool. I think right here, I probably want to split this into two, but that would affect the roof. And I don't know. I don't even think that matters. So let me just split this into two the way I want to. And then this face from here to here and this face from here to here could be separated geometry, and this will just be extruded forward like so. So that's cool. I think the entire facade looks okay. No, not 100% yet. Right here, I will hide this. No, I'll hide this row. Ooh, wait, I saw something just now. J. Column windows. Is there a roof here? Let me see. Let me see. Nope, no roof. If you wonder what add-on this is Burger Pie. Can I make a shading course? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. Like definitely cannot make a shading course right now. I think most part of shading that I do know is it's really elementary, and that's because I don't think most of the shadings that I usually would need to do are just basic basic shading basic shading like assignments. There's no like huge stuff that I need to texture and stuff like that. But I have been thinking a lot about trying substance again. Yeah. And the idea about trying substance again is that I've tried it before and it never really clicked for me. I don't know. And I think part of why that didn't work is same thing with like key shots, learning key shot and all those other softwares. Like you pick those things up and you never really get to use them. Marvelous designer, so that was the painful one because I really love using that software. I learned it, but never really got to use it. So all the things that you've learned just it just evaporates. So yeah, shading. I don't think if I want to ever even learn how to, not necessarily learn, but if I ever want to like shade for real, I'll be thinking of how I could incorporate substance into this actually. Right here, I think there's an issue with this roof right around here. I think what I'm going to do, take this and GY all the way in. But I don't want to do that. That would be like a messy way of fixing what it is that is happening here. So what I am going to do, there are three roofs on this actually. So you see this entire roof. On this side, I'll P to separate that selection, right? And I'll delete this vertex. I think this. Delete these faces. Delete this edge. Delete this vertex. And then this. Going to GY. All the way in like so. Face is going to be deleted and then this. Okay. I need to undo all of this and try to get it again. So what I'm trying to do is try to make this roof different from the main roof. So I'm going to undo down to, where's the point where I separated? Yeah, right around here. So I'm going to take this and join. And then this entire roof is going down. So if I can P to separate a selection, isolate that, select this, delete face, come back to this. I can select this and GY all the way in like so. That's good. Right here, I don't know what this face is, but let me see. This face can be gone. um I would assume that this part right here would be covered with something like this repeated pattern that we have here. So that is exactly what I'm going to try to do. Right, so all of this part in here, I'm going to take like something like this, shift D, Z, and that. Oh, that's great. Like, can you send that to me? Let me see. Tomato. Let me see what that model looks like. Send it on Instagram. And that didn't even take you no time at all. Like that was quick. EX merge at last. Think this also I'm going to merge at last. Okay, I think Tomato has sent that. So let me just check. 1 second. Okay. I see it. I see the model. Yeah. Think you pretty much got it actually. Are you going to texture? Because that would be another way to elevate this actually. Are you going to texture? If you're going to be texturing, that will be fire. That will be nice, and it will really elevate that model. Into GX all the way to this point. SZ a little bit. GC all the way to the top. Right here, I would GG. And I think this is pretty much cool. Um, right around here, I think there's a little bit of an extrusion along the mouse, right? Then there's something like this, where this is duplicated and this is isolated and this is SY zeroed in such a way that I can SZ this and GY this all the way out. SZ a little bit on that. Nope. SZ and all of this. I would EY rather. So what I want to do is take this edge and I want to build like a bevel profile on it. Yeah. Okay. So for this, I'm going to bevel, give it a lot of steps and render that. But right here, we're going to make a custom kind of bevel. Okay. I'm going to do that again. But this time I'm going to apply scale and then do that. So yeah, I really don't know. I don't have an advice regarding that model. But let me look at it again, because in comparison the with the main one, there's something overly boxy about yours. I don't know. There's something overly boxy about yours, and I really don't know where that is coming from. Um, and I think that's one of the reasons I said I should texture, cause it feels like some of the bevels are too sharp. You know, yeah. Compared to what do you call it? To the reference, there are some there are some parts of this that needs to be rounded off that is not rounded off, and it's actually having a huge impact on the overall look. Like it feels like something that is really fragile because of the sharp edges, and if it falls from your hand by mistake, that device is gone. So yeah, look at it again. There are a couple of edges that should be rounder. I don't know. It might be accurate, but feels like there's some things that should be round there. So right before you texture, just check it out actually. GX. I'm going to rotate this like so. Oh no, okay, like so. And GX and that. So think this right here, I want to GG. E, right? So I'm going to link this to object data. I'm going to bring 3D cursor to this point, and this is a 3D cursor. What's going on? link objects. I need this to be rounded off actually. Let me do it to the other side. GG extrude. All right. So this I would shift DX and SX minus 1. SX minus 1. Huh? You know what? I'm just going to rotate this manually. And GX. Okay. So there's a pipe that runs in from here. So I'm going to bring in a cube and merge at center. And then this pipe is going to extrude on the Z. Right? I'm going to come to the front view. Or extrude out to the side, and then on the side I will just extrude downward. So this runs all the way to the down right here. So we have that pipe. I'm going to apply a scale, turn this into no, not shear. Turn this into a curve, and then I would add some depth to that. That's cool. I'm going to GZ on this and apply that scale. I'm going to increase resolution to 12. And I think I'm also going to render this actually. GZ. So I'm going to convert all of this to mesh. Yep. So right here, I'll bevel this. But we're going to use super ellipse. Make sure everything is smooth. Do that again. Make sure everything is all smooth. And then this. Make sure it's all smooth. Right here. Make sure it's all smooth. So I think that's cool. I don't think I want to get into the roof right now. That roof is just going to be a menace. So next up I'm going to do, I think there's a small window right here. So I'm just going to boolean that into the shape. Bring in a cube. It looks like a tall window, right? So that window is there. I'm going to difference that. And I think I'm going to do this kind of window frame for it. So you see this boolean that we have here. I'm going to apply that boolean, and this will make me have access to this shape right here. So I'm going to duplicate that, separate that selection, and then with this I can ES, but I'm going to apply that scale first of all. I think I need to turn right now to see if Tomida has actually sent a message, because I've not checked that in a minute and I felt like I had to concentrate to get through the last parts of this. So let me just check. Stilan, hey man, how are you doing? Shout out to you for being on the stream. Thank you so much. Sorry man, but I have like 3 exams tomorrow. I should leave. See you later, man. Yeah. There's no problem. But I think I said something that required a reply. Yeah, if you could reply that. I can't remember right now. But let me see if I can track back my thoughts. Hmm. Okay, yeah, you asked for some advice, and yeah, I asked you to double check. I think that that model needs some rounding. it needs some rounding. It feels very, very boxy. And yeah, you know, when you were modeling it, were you trying to make it low poly? You know, that's what I just wanted to kind of have a reply on. And I mean, you can live for your exams, but yeah, if that's the way the model is, it's fine too, because I might just be seeing it wrongly. You know, I might be seeing that all wrong. So this part, oh no, I need to make my own. So I'm going to bring this here, duplicate that. I'm going to fill this face and fill that right here. I'll bevel this, and then we can make this 4 and bevel that too. So all of this I'm going to extrude out a little bit, and we have that. So this wall that we have here, I'm going to shift the X and RZ90, and this part is going to be on this part of the wall. So I'm going to come here, SY, G, yeah, Y. Okay. So all of this, I am going to increase the array count on this so it fills out the entire wall. And I feel like this should be even bigger. And in order for me to cut out this shape, you see this entire wall, I'm just going to copy that on the X and separate that selection. So this, I'm going to extrude, and this is going to be a direct boolean of this. So this looks like an intercept, but that is not what I want. I'm going to move this to an intercept, and we have an intercept. So I think I actually need an intercept and not a difference. So I'm going to select both and GX right into the back wall. So that's cool. Yeah. It's fine, man. I just wanted to make sure I got your reply on that, but it's all good. All the best with your exams, and yeah, kick ass, man, kick ass. So I think I want to get into the roof actually, or no, not roof yet. I feel like the roof is going to bring a lot more complications. So if I can knock out these ones, that will make modeling this easier for me. So I'm going to start with this, and for this, you see this point, I'm going to bring in a cursor to this point right here. So there's going to be a cube, scale down. I'm going to view frame selected and SY a little bit on that. And this is going to SX. So for this, I will select this like so. Select the entire thing, and I'm going to apply scale and extrude along the mouse. So that's cool. This our Z, GZ, and right around here, I'll scale this SY a little bit, and this I'll GZ. Right. On this side, I'll shift DX, repeat, and SX, I'll GY a little, and we're good. think I want to make this 5 actually. Just going to eyeball the last position. SX, GX. That's cool. Right around here, I think this is more like a pillar. Is it a pillar? It's more like a structural thing. So all of this, I'm going to choose Z, bring that all the way down. And right here, I'll bring in a cube. So for the cube, I'm going to G Shift Z, move this in like so. And for here, I can scale this on the Z. Right? So here I can S Shift Z, bring this down to this point, and then I'll flip this to the other side. So this is cool. Next up, I am going to, I feel like splitting this, but I'm going to bring in cursor to this face, and I'll bring in a cube, and I'm going to use that as kind of a Boolean object, GY, GZ. Use this as a Boolean, and we have that. I'll select that Boolean and GY, just bring it out a little more. I'll take that Boolean, apply that, and then this face has to be out. Yep. So right here, I'm going to take this shape, Shift D, separate that selection, and then this, I'll apply the scale and ES on that. So we have a thick frame, and then this I'll bring right here. This I will extrude. No. I'll select all first of all, extrude that, and then extrude that. So that's cool. This base right here, I want it to be a bit longer to suggest its strength and balance. So it seems, can I copy this? Let me see. Because I feel like this can work for that. P to separate. No, let's do that again. Frame selected. So we need to copy this, and this. So I can duplicate that P to separate that selection. All right, click, bring this to origin. I'll bring this down here, and this would come up here. So this is cool. I will SZ and balance all of that. So that's done. I think the only thing, I'm looking at this plank now, and I don't think, okay, this one is straight, but the one up here is not. Even the one to the side is straight. So I'm going to stick to the straight planks actually. I can't afford to complicate anything here. So on this side, I'll Shift D. Yeah. GX all the way to this point. SX. And then GY. A smidge. Just like so. So I can select this, and we're going to use it as a cutter. Q difference on that. That's cool. I think for the top parts, I probably want to still use the same thing. So I'll Shift D on this, rotate that by RY by 90. I'll reduce all of these counts to say 5-ish, and SX on that. So I can GX, SX, and then I can GZ all the way to the top. So this looks good. I'm going to select this, and then I want to copy. I want to select this face actually. This face. Oh, that's not a face on its own. That's crazy. I'm just going to join this two, and this becomes a face of its own. So I can shift DY, bring this forward, paste back what we had. Oh, I can't paste back what we had before. If I can't, then maybe I can separate this, copy this, and then go back to the previous. Yep, go back to here. So I can paste that triangle, extrude this into shape, and then we're going to use this as a difference. But I think it's intercept that's coming up. Well, let me check. I don't know. This is confused. It's treating intercept as difference and difference as intercept. Okay. I think to decide, so we need some of these blanks. So I'm just going to shift DX, RZ90, and SY a little bit on that. I can GX. If I don't finish this model tonight, I'm probably going to finish it out of stream, like just in the confines of my home, and have it ready. And the reason I am probably going to do that is because I don't want this to have a part 3. I mean, it's a house. It's just cubes, you know. And tomorrow I'll just go on to a new model. Okay. That's done. For this, I feel like if I extrude this along normals, let's do apply scale. Extrude along normals like so. But you see these edges, I want them to meet at center. This also meet at center. That's cool. I think GG. Going to Alt S and scale that high. Right around here. Frame selected. Select this. I'm going to bevel this part, but I think I'm going to apply scale first. Bevel this part. Add more cuts to that, and then we're going to go to the custom. So that's cool. I like that. I like the fact that I didn't have to treat both differently. And 1 second, guys, I'm really thirsty. Just give me a second. All right, I'm back. I think this was a pretty successful model. This one in particular, actually. I don't know what happened, but I think the scale of it had a part to play in why I was able to just get through get through it ASAP. Um, what we did here, I need to do for this part. So you see this and this. I'm going to go to the top view and I'm going to duplicate to this side. So we have that. I'm going to come to this side and G to make sure that aligns. I'm going to take this SX. I'm going to take this GX, SX, just like so. And right here, I'm going to shift the X. All right. SX. Next up, I want to select this and move to this point too. So somewhere around here. Going to GY. SX. G to move this into position. I'm going to select this right here and then I'll bring in a cube, which I would scale down and G shift Z. Just 1 second, guys. I want to check something. Still here. Just 1 second, please. I need to check something. Okay. Right. Let's get back to this. Right here, I would just scale on the Z axis. And then this, I don't think this needs to be copied because this is already covering it. So what I just need to do is call, so you see these two? I want to copy them to this point. Let me see if that's possible. So this and then these planks and then the cutter. These are the things I'm going to be copying to. I'm going to copy into this point. So right here, I would GZ, GX, GZ, scale this up. Okay. So like that, I'm going to GY this. And then this, I'm going to SX because I want to add more iterations of the array system. So I'm just going to add more. So that looks good. I think same treatment of this roof is what I'm going to do to this one. But there's something here Okay, since this roof, I'm going to move this backward a little bit, like so. So for this roof right here, I think same thing. Extrude along normals, like so. I'm going to merge at center, select both and GZ. And then this right here, I'm going to bevel like so. Yep, that's good. The house is coming together nicely, and yeah, I'm having fun too. Most importantly. Okay. Is there where I can copy this boolean and affect? No, it's not affecting. So I have to boolean this one separately. Difference. That's cool. I think this same boolean too should affect inside. I'm going to apply that boolean, right click, shade, auto smooth. But this I'm going to bring out actually. So this face I'm going to GY. Bring all of that out. I'm going to Shift D this, separate that loop, GY. I'm going to apply this scale, and then our ES. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ES again. And the reason I did that was because I needed enough space to add a loop here and then extrude this outward. So all of these things that I'm actually extruding and not putting a bevel on it, I actually would have to go back and put the bevel on them. Like, this won't come out well in the render if I don't make them have that bevel. So I need to figure out how I'm going to just either put in a general bevel or go around and just manually add in some bevels. So right here, I'm going to bring cursor to this point, and this window, I'm going to move selection to cursor actually. So this GYs come out. Yep. That's cool. I think right around here. I don't know if it's here or maybe here. I want to select this. Yeah. Bevel it. That'll be a crazy bevel. I'm just going to bring in a separate cube, I beg. I was trying to embed that into the mesh, but it just wasn't working. GZ SX. That's cool. Up here, there's something that I need to model. I don't know what that is, but is going to require me to bring cursor to this point, bring in a cube, scale on the Z and that cube, S to scale down a little bit. I'm going to chop into this. Before I do that, let me copy this first. Do I even need to chop into it? I don't think I need to. So I'm going to SY. Yeah, so that's cool. Next up, I want to bring in a loop down here so that when I bevel that, I'll be able to have access to this face, which I'm just going to extrude all the way out. So all of this, I'm going to SZ, and I'm going to bring this down here and bevel like so. So this right here, I'm going to select this face, extrude. I'm going to insert and extrude inward. So I'm going to bring in cursor to this point, bring in a cube, scale that down SX. So that's cool. I can GZ on that. Select this face, GY. Select this and Shift DZ. Repeat all of that. And then maybe this one I want to GY actually. That's cool. This I'll Shift DX, RZ 90, and I can GX on that. GY a little bit. GX. I'm going to bring colors to this point, bring in a cube, scale that cube down. You're just going to build a frame for this part. Let's see. Yep, that's cool. Next up, I think I need to build this window down here. Right, so maybe I can just use loop cuts for this. Yeah. GG. I will extrude this inward, select the Shift D, separate that selection, and GY. Bring this out. So right here, I'll apply that scale, ES on that, and I'll select all of this and SX. So I think this right here, I can Shift D, move to this point, and then I can bring cursor to, let's say, I can bring cursor to this point. I can bring this selection to cursor, and then on the front view, all of this can be yanked off. I'm going to delete vertices. No, not deleting vertices. Let me zoom in and see what I'm deleting actually. I think faces, just this faces actually. Yep. So I'm going to GX a little bit, come to the front of this, GX, scale. I'm going to bring origin to geometry, scale this up, scale it on the X also, and we have the window. So this I'm going to bring out just like so, and on the framing, that's This I'm going to EY, GY. Extrude. That's cool. Um, that's nice actually, but looking at this now, it feels like it's too close to the roof. So I'm going to select this, including this, and I think all this all the way to this point. Can GZ downward like so. This, hmm, you know what? This roof doesn't need to get to this point. So all of this, I can GG and then C to extend past that. So that's good. I'm just going to carry out the same thing I did for others on this. GX. Right here, I want to select all, switch to face, and then just extrude like we have been doing. I'm going to apply scale. I'm going to extrude along the mouse. So this I'm going to merge at center. This I'm going to merge at center. Select both and GC. And then this also, and then this are all going to be beveled. That's cool. Looking like I already have everything. No, I don't have everything. This I'm going to shift the X just like so, and GZ a little bit on that, because what I want to do is maybe use this face from this frame. Shift D, separate that selection, fill that GY, extrude that inward, select this, and then create a difference on that. So that's cool. I also want to do the same for this part. So for this, I can just shift DX, RZ90, I can GY on that. Come to the side view, make sure this is centralized, and I can SY just like so, and increase the count all the way to the top. And what this is going to help us do is that when we have this on this side, I can easily select this face and then shift D on the X just like so, and this can go on the X into this wall. So now that it's in there, we need to cut out the other parts that are not needed. I'm just going to select all and then extrude. With the extrusion, I can GX and then create a difference on this. So we need to switch that to intercept. We need to switch this boolean to intercept. So that's looking the way I want it to. Next, there's some light fixtures here that I feel like might be a great addition to lighting the entire scene. So this is looking like cylinder, then cylinder, then hoop, and then another cylinder. So I'm going to bring in a cylinder, switch that to view. Nope, let's do that again. Bring in a cylinder, switch that flat to my view. I can scale this down, GZ, and now that we have this, I can go to view and then scale this and GY this. So now we have this, I can apply that scale and then just bevel that. I like that the fact that this has the same profile as the other ones. So I'm going to bring in a cube here, merge oral at center. I'll select this and then I can bring this in, turn this into a curve, and then on that I would expand. So I can select this and just extrude this inward like so. So at this point, I'm going to bring in another cylinder, and on the side view that will help us to rotate it into shape. All right, that's cool. Next up, I'm going to select this face, delete that face, and then this face down here, I'm going to apply that scale and then just bevel that. But this one, we don't want to use that same bevel. Want to use super ellipse, and that's cool. I can right click and clear that flat shading. Next up onto this, just apply solidify. And I think we're cool on this. The other thing is that I'm not sure about the size. So I'm going to come to the front view, right click, shade smooth, all of that. Shade to smooth. So this, I'm going to use that at the center point. I'm going to switch to active element, and I'm just going to grow this from that point right there. So that's cool. I'm going to come to the front. Yeah, I think that light is big enough. Front view, shift DX, move this to the side. That's cool. That's pace. I don't know if I want to draw not draw, but I'm saying draw. I want to model like this front part. Let me see, let me try. So I'm going to scale S shift Z, SZ a little bit on that, and then SX. So this looks good. The only thing is that I need this to terminate here because the other part is like an entirely different material. So I'm going to shift DX, bring this down, or I'm going to right click, centralize this, and then shift DX, bring this down to this point and SX. So this other part right here is grass, and I think this GY, we have to bring in a loop cause this also extrude out to this point. So this is good. I'm going to GX, select all of this and just GX on that. You see this thing that we have here? I don't know if this is a way I can just mirror it to the other side. I can't afford to model all that again. That'll be a lot of headache. I'm going to take this, shift D, separate that selection. And from this, I'm going to build the roof. Scale. That's cool. That's space. Shift DX, SX. Select this, and I can GY all the way flat in like so. So this part I'm going to scale a bit bigger than the others. Then this face here, I believe is going to have something like this. So shift DX, RX90, no, RZ90 actually. And with this I can SY, GY a little bit on that. and I'm going to have to increase the count on that roof so that aside that cutter that is creating a space here, I also need another cutter like this. Face shift dy or shift dx rather. Separate that selection and this gx snap back into place, and then this I'm going to extrude and use this as the boolean object, which I'm going to difference but switch to intercept, and we're good. Another thinking is that I feel like this right here needs to extrude out a little bit. Like, see this? It needs to come out a little bit. GX. Running in my G next, we don't need a baker. Oh, man. I feel so sleepy, bro. Okay. Hmm. I apologize if I'm not saying anything. Just trying to get through this video. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on my check. Mm-hmm. Gonna cover on gotta put the water on my potato. I can kill this left for me. Mm-hmm. Right. So for the roof, yeah, I think I'm going to have to simplify the roof. So all of this, I'm just going to use cubes basically. So from here to right here, I'm going to shift D, separate that selection, copy that, and just undo all the way to here. So I'm going to V, and then right here, I'm going to extrude that a little bit like so. GY or GX rather. I'm going to take this and then Alt S, bring it in. I'm going to right click, bring this to origin, and then we're going to create a quick array on that. So for the array, we're going to do something like this, right? That's cool. Shift D. So after this selection, I'll select all of that and combine to a mesh. And right here, I think I want to separate by loose parts, right? So now everything has their own different like color and just different objects. So, but all of this, their origin is here. Like whether your tile is on this side or is far away, all the origin is on this line. So I want to right click and move all that origin to their individual mesh, and that would make it easy for me to just make this appear and then basically randomize textures. So the randomized textures going on, I don't want it to look like this actually. I'm going to reset this and reset the Y. So it's just going to leave us with the V, which we can with the Z rather, which we can just rotate. I think location on the X, I want to randomize that a little bit. Here's the location on the count the location on the Z. So this is good. I'm going to select this, and I don't want to move to a collection. I want to join everything. Let me see. I want to join everything into one. So that's good. But there's something I've noticed. Yeah. If I scale all of this into one, or basically just move this up like this, I'll be able to create a space here down here where I can kind of create an extrusion, and then we can still have the same profile right here. Yeah, I'm going to Alt S this, bring this down. Bevel. That's fire. Right there is cool. I'm going to select this and just mirror this. So I think I'm going to be repeating this texture actually. On this side, I'm going to use the same texture. Alt D Y GZ. That's fire. And I can GX. So by slotting this into place. Looking at this now, I feel like probably not enough tile. How do I do this? How do I do this? Can I just SX the whole thing? But you would see the obvious difference in size between this and this. So right here. Bring this down to this point. Right here, I would extrude. GG. And then this beveled. So with this, I can shift DX, move this all the way down to the side. And I'm going to kind of adjust for this actually. So I'm going to rotate from the 3D cursor and just rotate this into space. So I can I scale this down? Let me see. GX. That's cool. I don't know, for some reason now the roof that I added is making the scene feel like a miniature. Let me see. If I add this down here, bring cursor to selected. No. Bring this down here, switch to active elements. If I decide to scale all of this down and then duplicate like so. Yeah, it needs to be smaller. Like now that I made the roof tile smaller, I can feel the scale a bit better. So yeah, those tiles are really huge. You have to make them, recreate them basically. So oh my god. I need to go back all the way to the array. Let me go back all the way to the array. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to have a good starting point. No. That'll be a little work. So this, I'm going to select all. I'm going to take out that mirror actually and just scale it down to somewhere around here. So right here, I'm going to scale up. Somewhere around here is good. And I can Shift D. I think even beyond Shift D, I probably want to also randomize. Love to randomize, but it's not letting me randomize. There's an obvious mark here. It's like an obvious seam. can I break down by loose parts first and then randomize textures a little bit more? Let's randomize textures again. So this time around, I want to reverse this, move location on the Y just a smidge, and on the X a bit more. So this is good. Right here, I can join all of this into one, and I can shift the X. Oh man, I'm seeing the obvious seam. I'm still seeing the seam. Let me manually disturb the seam. RC. Merge by distance. Uh-uh. Yep, I've disturbed that line. DX. That's fine. Yep, I like the scale better right now. I don't think I disturbed that line enough actually. Okay. Shift DX. That's cool. I'm going to delete this one and move this X to the side. I'm going to go to the Z or the Y axis right here, and then we're going to make sure this sits right. That's cool. I'm going to take this out, and then we're going to move this again. Right, this is going to move to the side. G. I'm going to GX. Scale this down. Rotate. G. That's cool. Going to GX on that. I feel like, see this part? G. Cool. Right here, I want to bring in. Oh, what's this? Measure distance. Wow. I'm going to extrude, and then this is going to be our texture. Okay. Looks like I'm done with this house actually. I'm done with this house. Um yep, I'm just going to save the file. Look at the list, figure out what I'm going to model tomorrow, and just go for tomorrow. This is done. Probably want to do walkie talkie tomorrow. I don't know about that backpack. I might change that model. Yeah. What was it? A house, day 88. So we're going day 88 on this. And then this is going to be called the 88 house. So this is done. I'm going to save file. Was it? No, pack resource first, and then file is ready to save. Yep. So that's about it, guys. I am very, very sleepy. As you can see from my eyes are already closing. So yeah, that's about it, guys. So long, and until I see you guys in the next one. Peace.